said RFK, I saw your face totally change.
He flinches.
I flinched. Well, I mean, what's it? 30% of voters in the DDHQ poll of young voters think that RFK is, quote, a moderate, which right there tells me that these kids have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
But they don't vote. That's anyway. I could talk.
No, please.
A lot of days I've spent at this table just lamenting the fact that Biden is hyper-focused on these 18 to 34-year-olds who turn out to vote 30% of the time, roughly. And he would be mistaken to cater his entire campaign message to the left wing of the party that may or not care or know when election day is.
I think part of it is, I think that they're assuming on some level that because, as we've talked about a lot, he's been underwater much more so with minority demographics that have usually traditionally been hardcore Democrat targets, and they're kind of wavering. The Black Hispanic vote is not as solid as it was 4 years ago. If you are going to lose some of that, you got to pick it up somewhere else. And I think maybe the Biden campaign is thinking, well, maybe that 18 to 35-year-old, 34-year-old group, that's where they can maybe gain a couple ground, to offset what they might lose.
But they're boycotting him, too.
Yeah. No, but on the same note, I was going to say, if the younger voters aren't turning out, but we're seeing that major protest vote in states across the country, and they're showing up. So I think, they may not be going for President Biden. They're going against him. But we are seeing younger folks show up in numbers against the president. So maybe they will show up, just not for
the
him.
Biden campaign should just buy every 18-year-old donuts.
Donuts? Well, we have been now supplied donuts on the set after 3 days of doing the morning show. Finally, and these come
Sugar
from
jolt.
Yeah, these come from District Donut, and having food on sets is always dangerous things. But District Donuts, they do great donuts. Clearly, somebody in the green room has already gotten to the donuts before we did.
Hopefully, no one of them wanted the
Yeah, what's interesting is we're able to have donuts here inside. Because if we were outside, what happened to Kelly Meyer yesterday would happen to all of us if we have the video.
Might as well be a target.
Yes.
Maybe they'd go for the donut.
The drop zone of birds. We may not have the video, but there is a bird that landed on Kelly Meyer's head, and it was all caught on tape.
Someone said, I keep getting the scoop.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Oh,
no. See, the bird thought your hair was a donut.
Maybe. Just came right in.
She's like a Disney character come to life.
You handled it.
Flock to her.
I sing a song in the Birds of the White House.
You handled it with great aplomb.
That was right before Leland's live shot, by the way.
Right before the show. This actually brings up an interesting point because the White House press corps that's on Pebble Beach, which is that area out there on the North Lawn, is starting to grow frustrated, I think, as you noted, with President Biden, to the point now that even mainstream publications, the Wall Street Journal, is saying the quiet part out loud about President Biden in terms of his mental acuity. They were out with a front page story this morning. And there's a timing here, right? The president's headed overseas. It's his time to sort of reset as the leader of the free world. Biden shows behind closed doors. Biden shows signs of slipping.
I mean mentally, not physically slipping.
Well, that happens too. That's what. And look, you joke, but we put up the video of him landing in Paris. This is the time to use Air Force One for the big arrival when you head
American
the 80th. Nothing says America like Air Force One, and he's got to use the mini stairs.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's old. I don't know. Democrats need to understand this. There's no way to sugarcoat. He's an old guy. I mean, that's just
the problem.
Obvious.
Is that he's old, or there's nothing you can do about it.
I think those are both true.
And that he's the best they've got. He beat almost every other candidate that's even hinted at an intention to run for office. And
I've seen the Biden campaign.
This is the option.
Yeah, and I've seen the Biden campaign laying it out in their advertising, saying, here's the age of former President Trump, and listing, convicted felon, all of the things. And then they say, Biden, 4 years older, and then not saying anything else. So they're trying to say, I mean, the one thing they have in their favor is
the guy that's challenging them. He isn't a spring chicken either in his own right. I mean, they're both old. Yeah,
I think for what it is. But look, you are starting to see the difference, right? In even the term, and I think Kelly made a good point. The difference in just accessibility. Joe Biden is behind closed doors all the time. They do not let him talk to the press.
He's doing his job. He's running the country. His job isn't to go out there and talk to the press every day.
Have you seen his schedule lately?
He talks a historically low amount to the press.
Sometimes less is more.
And recently,
with him it is.
And recently we haven't had the chance, and they say because of the state dinner, they had the tent on the South Lawn, so they couldn't do departures, which is really our opportunity. Granted, he doesn't always stop,
this is Marine One lands, and then the president walks out. And normally he walks out by himself and comes over and gaggles with the White House press corps.
But lately,
not only does he not gaggle, but he has a group of people walking around with him.
Birds attacking the White House. It's not safe to go near the White House press corps.
Of all the risks the Secret Service has to worry about.
Secret Service didn't come out and they didn't run after my defense. They did.
I think it's very sweet. I think animals know who's a good person, and I thought it was very touching.
The comments on that online, we have like 200,000 views or something on it already. It's the comments.
She's gone viral. Yeah. Of course, now we got to worry about flying venomous spiders. Apparently,
right.
Yeah, that's later. Thanks for reminding me. All right.